Hey guys, just wanted to update you on the Grand Prix, what's been going on with it. It's kind of gloomy out. This is the way it is this time of year. When it's not just summer or dead of winter, we have warm days that are really cloudy like this, like it is today. It's about 69, and if it's not cloudy, it's just cold. So anyway, a few interesting things here. What I'm doing is I'm just taking the cooling system apart on this thing. I was running it the other day and I kept getting splashed with water. I was standing over there and the fan kept slinging water up in my face. So I thought, oh, I know what that probably is. And sure enough, it's got a bad radiator in it, which they just about always do if they've not been replaced. This one's the old style, probably the original copper brass deal. And so that didn't necessarily surprise me. They're not very expensive for these. Nothing really is. So I'll be replacing that, and in the meantime I've got a heater hose and the heater valve. I want to replace that, so that's been taken loose back there. I'll show you this is part of the heater hose that was on it. You can kind of see what that looks like. It's pretty rough, and so it was really in bad shape. I already had one. It's already got one new heater hose on it there, so I'm not in a new upper hose. So I'm not going to replace those two, but I'm going to replace the bottom hose down there, and I'm going to replace that heater hose that's been taken off. As a matter of fact, I had to actually take this. Since I was going to replace it, I just went in and cut a slice in this hose down there to drain the radiator because I couldn't find a drain plug on this radiator. That was interesting. Pain. But I try to hurry. I know it's kind of getting dark here, but there's the thermostat. I thought this car didn't have a thermostat in it because it's running like really cool, and it was just starting. I was getting heat out of the radiator. You know how when you don't have a car with a thermostat, you have one that doesn't have one in it. You start feeling heat blowing out of the radiator just right away. You know, so that thing. I don't know what the story is with it. Let's take it out and take a look at it. Boy, it's pretty rusty. Well, I don't see any space around it, so it's been closed. It's let's sit kind of off there a little bit. Wonder what heat range this thermostat was. Well, when you see something like that, that's just an overheat waiting to happen. Because if they'll stick open, they'll surely stick closed. This is 180. It's kind of hard to see there, but that's what it is. So I got a new one for that. So I'll do that and probably be running some water through the block to flush it out. And just a couple notes also on this engine in this car. My brother has very good powers of observation, probably as good as I do, if not better. And I was working on this thing yesterday and wiping some rust off my camera, excuse me. Working on this thing yesterday, and he said, I don't think this is the original engine in this car. And I didn't pay a lot of attention to that. But he said, well, this isn't the original intake on here, is it? And I said, well, yeah, I guess it is. I hadn't paid much attention to it. And he said, no. He said, let's see what this says up here. And sure enough, look at this, guys. You probably can't see it very well, but let me get around, maybe. If you can look there, you can't see the whole word, but that says Street Dominator. That's a Holley Street Dominator intake. You can't hardly, there's the Holley right there. There's that. So, yeah, well, these Grand Prix didn't come stock with Holley Street Dominators. And they make three of these. They make a low rise, a mid rise. It's like a copy of a Z28 aluminum intake, and then they make a single plane, which I know this is not, because it's a square bore intake, you know, for the carburetor. But I think this is the mid rise one, because I noticed there's no EGR valve on this intake. Nowhere at all. I think it's supposed to be on the side over here, one of these sides, that's the choke. That plate you just saw over there, that's the choke block off plate for a hot air choke. That's not, I don't think that's the EGR. It could be, but I think that's the choke. I'll have to research that. Correct me if I'm wrong. That plate right down there. That could be the EGR. I don't know. I'll have to see. But it's right under where the choke is. So he made me start thinking about this. And he said, this is supposed to have center bolt valve covers on it, which it does not. As you see, it's got the old style perimeter fastened valve covers. And I just never did think about it, you know. I just assumed it was the correct engine in it. So I dug the numbers up, and it's really, it's confusing because it's a 305 block, and the casting number on the back of it is for the right year. I mean, it's a 86 up 305 block with one piece rear main seal, but at the very least the heads have been replaced, and it's either the factory block with a different set of heads, or it's maybe like a crate engine or something, like one of those remanufactured engines. Because I also noticed that it's getting so dark, I can't see anything, but down in here there's this pad down in here that's got the codes on it. But at least this pad up here behind the alternator is blank. It's just got a coat of paint on it, and it's totally blank. So something's different about this. I don't know. It's nothing special. It's no hopped up engine or nothing like that. But I thought that was just kind of interesting. I never even noticed that about the intake. So anyhow, that's my story, and I guess I'll stick to it. I gotta save up some fund money for the radiator. The radiator's about $120 for this. So I'll be doing that sometime this week, maybe getting into the weekend. And I'll get the radiator put back in and all that. And I'm still working through the brake issues. I got some videos coming on that, but suffice to say, I'm not to the bottom of it yet. So anyway, guys, I guess I'm gonna put my tools up and go back in the house before it starts to rain on me some more. And I hope everybody gets ready to have a nice Thanksgiving, eat a lot, and give thanks and all that. So we'll be talking to you in another video. Stay tuned. See ya.